I don't do recognition anymore on here. I'll do that live separate this week in our team page, as so we don't have to, so we can keep it separate and then people can watch just for recognition and that live too. So welcome to everybody. I'm Debbie Bry. If I'm not sure if I've met you before, Maria. So glad to have you guys on tonight. It's our first team call in January. I'm so excited. 2024 is going to be a great year. I am excited to see what happens with Color Street. They have great things. I'm really excited for the momentum I think we can start building, starting with, as we just talked before this, with that sweepstakes for getting hostesses and having the big 30,000 beauty bars. I think what a great way for Color Street to kick off 2024. So with that said, I know January in almost every avenue, we talk about fresh starts, right? Fresh starts, new starts, you know, what your goals are, what your resolutions are, what you want to change. And, you know, I think we all go through this every year in January. I'm at the gym. It's always busier in January. By February, it starts to die back out again. Most people probably do not meet their resolutions, right? Or they do it for about a month and they stop. And a lot of people probably can't even tell you what their resolutions were, is my guess, from the year before. Have you guys heard of that expression, of the one word expression? We've done that on our team before, where you pick kind of one word that to kind of transform yourself. We had a great sermon in church yesterday too on this type of stuff. And so the word that resonated with me yesterday after our sermon, when I gave it a lot of thought, was for my one word for the year is to be more focused. I mean, just straight up, since I started pre-menopause, whatever, 2 years ago, my focus, I can't focus for the life of me. It's very hard. I used to be very organized. I could get more done in a day that I think some people could get done in a week. And I have a very hard time focusing now. So my goal of picking focus as my one word is that one word will touch on every aspect of my life. Focus with my friends, my family, my work, to help me set goals in all those areas. So when you think of a one word for the year, before we even get into goal setting, you know, instead of thinking of, I know a lot of people think of, you know, at the beginning of the year, they want to exercise, they want to, you know, maybe they want to watch their weight, they want to cut back on alcohol. Those are typical things. But if you could think of a one word that could transform you in your personal life, that could touch on all the areas of your life, because think about our lives. Every day we have a bajillion things to do, don't we? Just on a regular day. So a regular day, we have, maybe some of you have kids that you're dealing with. Some of you have spouses. Some of you have work. Some of you have extracurricular activities that you're running around to. Then you have your everyday stuff of laundry and going grocery shopping and cooking food. We are in 100 directions, right, of doing, and that's just our on a day-to-day basis. So if you could think of a one word that could help you in all those areas, think of that. Whether it's joy, maybe you want to bring more joy to everything you do in all those areas. Find joy with your family, find joy with work, find joy doing laundry. I know it sounds weird, but you can have joy when you get a stain out, right? So
doing laundry here. Sorry.
What's that?
Oh, it's just doing laundry. You know?
Always. I don't find joy in putting it away, but I find a lot of joy in folding it.
The underwear is all clean. Here we go. That's good.
Right? I like it. So, like I said, my one word for this year is focus. Because, okay, I'm seeing some of these other ones. Let me see some other ones. And hey, Tammy and Haley and Dana, who just hopped on. Does anyone else have a one word that they've picked? Maybe it's something like, so like I said, mine's focus, because I figure if I can focus better, I'm going to give better to everybody. If I can focus and get my work done, then that'll allow me to focus on the time when I'm with my family. If I can focus with my family and be intentional there, I'm going to get better quality time. And so anybody else have a word that they feel could fit in all their, did I say
Striving.
thrive? Strive. Okay. So tell me a little bit about it.
I just want to strive to improve all the areas of my life, my personal life, my work life, my Color Street life, my friendship life. I just feel like if you're striving towards something all the time, then you're improving in little tiny increments.
Sure. I like it. Anybody else?
Mine is imagine. And
Ooh, tell me about imagine.
well, it's on the sort of the dream theme, but more on a daily basis of trying to say, imagine if you felt, I'm having healing issues. So imagine if you felt better, and what does it take to feel better? So imagine yourself doing the exercise the doctor wants you to do. Now do them, imagine if you had a bank account that you didn't worry about after paying all the bills.
Yeah.
Imagine, and what can you do to improve that so it looks like that? Well, I know what I can do. So that's what I want to use imagine for, because it can be applied to so many different things. But I also want to imagine what it's going to be like in Cabo with all of you all. So
hey.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it. Anyone else want to share one? I saw a couple people in chat. Let me pull up the chat that said, "Ooh, simplify." I like that.
Yeah,
That was a really
I
good
couldn't
one.
unmute myself. I said simplify because I think that I complicate things so much in my life, and it causes me extra time. So,
Okay. I
like
like it.
simplify not only from that perspective, but also by like purging things that I don't need anymore.
Yes. I mean, that can fit
like
every area. That's why I think a lot of young people now have this simplistic way of decorating and stuff.
yes,
They don't have all the chaos around that prevents them from doing things.
minimalist. We're building a
Yes.
house this year, and I'm looking at all the things that I need to get rid of to move.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
I'm
this is
striving to
perfect.
declutter and reduce
Yes.
all the things.
Yes.
So
if this can help anybody, one of the words I used in the past was intentional, and that worked for a lot of different things. Intentional about my relationships, intentional about my family time, intentional about my business. So I think I liked that word, but I didn't want to repeat it again. But
yes.
I mean, it's a good word if somebody wants to use it.
I think working with intention is a great thing. I mean, doing everything with intention, right? Oh, and MB has peace. That's a good one. Tell us about peace, MB.
Just kind of like you said about the chaos. Not that everything is always so chaotic, but I just need more peace.
And again, when you have peace in some areas of your life, it's going to flow over to the other areas, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, thanks for sharing, everybody. So if you don't have your one word, don't worry about it. Think about it and see if you can come up with one. But the biggest thing is write it down on your fridge. Or I know when we talk about this, writing down things and writing down our goals, I guarantee 50% of people do and 50% of people don't. So today I really want to hit home of the importance of writing it down. So you see it over and over. When you keep looking at something, it's hard to ignore it, right? I mean, look at these words we have. Peace. You're gonna sit there and look at that word, and if you're not finding peace, it's gonna cause you some unrest, right? If you're striving to do something and you're looking at that word strive and you're not getting there, it's gonna give you that good reminder. So
I'm a big believer in bullet journaling. I put everything in my bullet journal and I check in it every day and I update my trackers and do all that. So it really keeps me on task. And I found it's extremely helpful.
Yes, I like that.
With Color Street, because I write down every sale I get. I write down if I've sent a thank you. I write down if I followed up 2 weeks later. So it keeps me striving to be a better follow-upper, a better stylist, a better friend, just everything.
Yeah, that's great.
Can I share my word for last year?
Yeah,
I know,
Deanna,
follow
share.
upper.
I like
I
follow
love
upper.
that. Need to be a better follow-upper, sorry.
I want to be a
It's okay.
fantastic follower upper.
I don't have a word yet this year. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But last year my word was consistency. I made the little
Well, you sure
bracelet. I
did
put it
that,
up
Dana.
and I
Number
did, but
2
I
in
did
the
it in
company
life
or not in the
and in
company, but in
business.
the number 2 in our team in sales.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
So
Thank
your
you.
consistency paid off.
Yeah, but that was my word for the year. And every time I felt like I was going to struggle, I would look at it and I made that my mantra for last year and it really worked. And I can't remember what I did. I think grateful a year or two before. And I spent the entire year working on gratefulness and gratitude and even within my VIP. And that has now become a huge part of all of our lives. So these words are important. You just have
They
to
are
find the
very
right one.
important. They are very important, especially I think it's great when you can find that one, like I said, that can encompass not just work,
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
family, but overall, like every part of your life, because they all run in together, right?
In the year
Mhm.
2000, a really good friend of mine and we started this tradition where on New Year's Eve we'd contact each other and we'd tell each other our year's motto, like something that rhymes. So like last year, my motto was taking care of me in 2023
Oh, that's
because
cute.
I was really bad at self-care. And I remember the great Maya Angelou quote that you can't serve from an empty pitcher. So I put all the emphasis on filling my pitcher up so I could serve others and give to others.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many different expressions that go along with that, right?
Yeah.
You know that, yeah, if you aren't, like, if you don't feel loved, how can you give love? If you're not being fulfilled, how can you help fulfill? That's a great point. So once you find that word, then you can you can let it help you figure out your goals. So we all want to start the year with goals. And I really, really, really encourage you again to write out these goals, whether they're daily, weekly, monthly. You really should be doing a little bit of all of that. But goals help us believe in ourselves, right? By setting goals for yourself, it's a way to get you excited. It's a way to motivate you. It's a way to see personal growth as you achieve these goals, which is why you really need to do some daily, some weekly, monthly. You know, it might be a year goal. You might have, a year one, but you have to break it down. So it's not just about creating that plan for your life and holding yourself accountable, but it's also giving us that inspiration that's necessary to aim for things that we didn't think possible. Like, look at Dana. I mean, I remember her saying, I used to look and think only people who have been in Color Street longer, only leaders could achieve these trips. And I remember she said, and now I look and I'm achieving trips and leaders aren't achieving trips. So, I mean, something she thought would be impossible, she was intentional over it and she worked really hard and got there. So that is the benefit of goals. I mean, she is a perfect example of how setting goals got her things she got to go to home office. Darlene got to go to home office.
Yeah.
Like, those are things people never would have believed would be possible for themselves. And that's my mom. I'm in her bedroom.
Hello.
Aw.
I'm
Can
mom.
I say,
You want to pop on and say, oh, she's getting her pajamas on.
Hi, Mom.
I'll go in here and close the door so
I-
she doesn't have to watch me.
I hope she does.
something about those goals? Make sure that you're not just making goals that are so big that they scare you. Make the big scary goals, but break that big scary goal into something smaller that you can check off every day. I've done
Yes.
direct sales for years and I was not a live in your face goal setter, and we did it as a challenge a few years ago, and ever since I started doing that, my business has changed. Make sure you feel successful when you post those goals and that you're checking them off however you do it.
100%. 100%. So, yeah, I mean, how do I follow that, Dana, right? You definitely want to break it down. So let's talk a little bit about that. So when you set your goal, and we've talked about this before, you want to make sure it's relevant. Of course, it's got to be something that, was within our business, right? And specific. Sometimes if you're so, like my overall word is going to be focus, right? But if I just said focus was my goal, that what does that mean for me? Well, I'm going to take that use focus as with work. What does that mean to me? So with work, it means I have to find a way to focus better because I'm all over the board. So it means I need to go back to what I did at the very beginning when I was super structured. So it means I need to start with calendar blocking. I need to figure out my work hours. I need to calendar block, and I need to write down actual activities that I need to do on certain days. I have to go back to making myself very structured because I got away from that. And now I'm like a hamster chasing in a wheel. So I have to go back to that structure. So if my goals are, let's say, to reach out to get 10 new customers a week, if they are to, reach out to 10 new people about hosting a beauty bar, book one beauty bar a month. I'm breaking down that word focus to get the activities of what I need to do in order to make the goal happen. So once you have your goal set, whether it's tied to new subscription boxes, or maybe it's a goal with a rank you want to hit. Maybe it's a goal with a trip you want to achieve. Maybe it's goals of how many new customers you're going to get. Beauty bar. I mean, we have so many different areas you could have goals in. Maybe it's how much PV you want to do every month. I mean, there's multiple things you could have goals in. But once you have the goal, the biggest. Oh, who did Michigan again?
Yeah, sorry.
So is it 14?
So is that them up 14-0?
14-0.
It's 13 to 3.
13-0.
Oh,
13-3.
wow.
Washington got a field goal, but they haven't done the extra kick yet. So
Okay.
It could be 14. I don't know, but I had to break it up. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. The biggest thing I think a lot of people do is they write their goals down, but they don't go to the next step, which is planning. So if you fail to plan how to hit your goals, you're kind of planning to fail, right? You've got to not just write your goals down, but you have to have some action steps. And if you have team members, it's one really important thing to go over with them. Like, let's say their goal is to book one beauty bar a week. Okay, so what's their plan? How are they going to get that? Have they even thought about how many phone calls that could lead to? If they think it's going to be reaching out to one person, it's usually not, right? I think we all know that's probably at least 10 phone calls, at least 10 personal reach outs to get a beauty bar, right? At least. So that person needs to schedule in the amount of time it would take to reach out to people, and on an average, how many people they should reach out to. So you want to make sure you develop a plan of action. So write that step. So write your goals out. Then for each one, write a step-by-step plan to achieve these small steps, which ultimately would hit your main goal, right? And be specific. Like, let's say you say to your kid, you have a child, you're not just going to tell them what grade is it, second grade, maybe, when they do all those time tests. Maybe they don't do it anymore. I know my kids did it, and they would time you to see how many addition problems you could get done in a minute. So imagine if you told that kid you have to get better at your math facts, but you didn't give them a plan of how they're going to get better. You didn't tell them to practice flashcards. You didn't tell them to set a timer and keep practicing these over and over and over until they could memorize them. You've got to give yourself the same thing. You've got to give yourself the action steps to get to those. So any comments so far? Has anybody written out action steps before? Or just goals? Raise your hand if you've written out goals before. Okay, raise your hand if you followed with each of those goals and wrote down how you're going to achieve them. Oh, good. We have some people that are going to get something new for themselves then. All right. I really, and you don't have to start with 32 goals. Like I just gave you a whole bunch of different areas. Our job is a lot of places you can set goals. Pick three goals for yourself and then break down those action steps. Don't take off so much. If you come up with 10 goals and 32 action steps, are you really going to do those goals? So pick 3 really big ones that you could then focus on. So maybe it's going to be, you want to try to get 2 new subscription box people every month, 2 new subscribers. Maybe it's going to be, you want to do 1 beauty bar a month, and you want to add 10 new people to your VIP group every month. Those are all doable goals, but then you're going to want to get the action steps. If you have the beauty bar each month, boy, and if you could get 10 new customers, then you probably could achieve that 10 new people, but maybe only 5 would join. So then you have to have a backup. What would another action step be? Maybe it's going to be to do some personal reach outs to people to get them in your VIP. Maybe it's going to be some posting on social media to get people in your VIP. So have some steps and backup plans, so that, which leads me to the next point, that if you're not achieving your goal, don't give up on the goal. Look up at the steps that you were doing to achieve that goal and why aren't they working? Maybe it's the verbiage that you're using. Maybe you're trying to get beauty bars, but you're calling people. And we had a call before this, and we were talking about, the importance of beauty socials this month, especially. But the one thing we talked about was changing your mindset from feeling like, when someone first starts and they say, oh, I called my friend and I begged him to have a beauty social for me. Well, changing your mindset, instead of them doing you the favor, that you're doing them the favor. You're getting them product at free and half off. So maybe when you've been calling people about beauty socials, you've been begging them, will you please have a party for me? Come on, if you're my friend, you'd have a party for me. I'm desperate. I really need this. And oddly enough, they're saying no. But imagine if you changed your plan and went about with new verbiage and said, hey, I know you really want that new lip oil this month. And I know you mentioned you had a lot of bills from Christmas. I would love to help you get it free and half off. That's my job, to help people like you be able to get it free and half off. So let me help you. So invite some friends, and, we can do a little makeup tutorial, and I can teach them I can show them the different colors. If you have all the colors, show them the different colors. I can show them how to put makeup on, and then they can feel free to order from your shopping link. So if you are evaluating your goals as you go, which you're going to want to be able, that's why we want to make them that you can measure them, right? And see if you're hitting them, and they're not working, change the plan. Keep your goal, but change your plan. So you can make sure that you are figuring out. If you don't know what to do, how to change it, that's why we're here as a team, to help each other. Because let me tell you, we all have a bajillion ideas, right? We're never filled. There's always a new idea we could get from each other. So, hey, Jen, hey, Deb. I know people are coming in and out during the game. Maybe they just got a second touchdown, so now people will pop back in. Any questions about it so far, or comments about success people have found with writing down action steps with goals? No? Is it always easy?
No.
No. And you may want to set a goal that is going to keep, you don't want to set a goal. Let's say right now you average, well, let's say last year you didn't do any beauty socials, right? Let's say you were your only hostess every month. Well, then I probably would not suggest setting a goal of 10 beauty socials outside of yourself a month, because you're setting yourself up probably for failure. If you didn't do any last year, now you're going to go all into 10, that might be tough. So maybe you're going to start with 1 or 2 a month, and then you hit that, and then you can always raise it a little higher. Remember, we can always, once you start achieving it, you can get bigger dreams and bigger dreams. But if you start here, from here, it could be a bigger challenge. It's going to be hard for you. And I'd rather see you have success each month if you're doing a monthly goal, and then continue to build on that. Because again, you want to, when goal setting, also, you always want to set milestones for yourself and reward yourself along the way. Don't be so hard on yourself if you didn't hit it. Okay, evaluate why. now, if you said you wanted to get one beauty social and you couldn't get it, then say, forget it, I'm going down to 0 again. No, keep it at 1, and you're gonna figure out what's going on that you could change to be able to still get it. Did you not get on the phone enough? Did you just post on Facebook and ask for it? You know, you'll evaluate what you did. But make sure you are rewarding yourself along the way. You get that first beauty social, how are you gonna celebrate? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna reward yourself with, some people like to, whatever, get a Starbucks drink. Other people then say, well, I'm gonna take an hour of free time to myself, whatever it is. Maybe it's gonna be that, I don't know, you write yourself a little congratulations note, whatever it is, but celebrate the good things, because, you know, not every goal is gonna be easy, and some are gonna take more willpower than others. Any other, I'm looking through gaming meetings, sorry, I've been so loud. I didn't hear anything, Deb, if you were on there and loud. Does anybody want to share any goal that they have set already for this year?
Cabo level 2.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. And FYI, I think that's a shareable. Dar, do you know where I'm about to go with this? You know, sometimes in the end
I'm
of
not
like,
sure.
I was gonna talk about Cabo for a second. Sometimes I think people get excited because in the past, sometimes near the end, they've given
Oh yeah,
double
that's shareable.
points. It is shareable?
Yep, I think so.
Okay. They're not planning on giving any type of double points in the rest of the remainder of the time. They did the double points at the beginning, and right now, if you know, they track how many people are, you know, on target to qualify, and they want to be able to keep everybody at the same hotel. If they went to double points, that would bring a whole bunch more people that may not be tracking the same, and they really want everybody to be together. So with that said, just if in the back of your head, you're like, well, they gave double points before, I'm this close. Work at regular points. Don't count on double points.
I think if you're like hoping for those double points, you're like actually robbing yourself from what you can do presently, because
Yeah.
you can make it. There's still
Yeah.
so much time.
Yeah,
You
3
gotta
months,
set a goal
Abby.
for how much that is.
Abby, you're at 15,000.
Yeah, almost. I already had a coaching call with April a couple days ago, so I know it's achievable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You have
Yeah,
to really
and
do it,
Abby.
Abby.
one of the biggest things too that you can do for yourself is start enrolling, because those enrolling
Yes.
points and the enrolling volume gives you so much volume, so much.
Yeah, I've got a plan. I just gotta put that plan into real time. I don't know.
So you got some goals for these 3 months.
Yeah.
You
I
also
like
got to
it.
believe in yourself too.
Yes. And that's my next point in goal setting, is that visualization. It's huge. I mean, we hear it in all different areas, right? Of mind over matter and visualizing, but it is, if you do negative self-talk, which is our natural reaction, is negative self-talk. That's what we naturally do. So you have to fight that negative self-talk and train your brain for positive self-talk. So whether you need to start every day with positive affirmations, but visualizing your goals and writing them down and doing positive self-talk of, I am going to achieve this, I know I can do this, over and over and over. You know, being at my mom's house reminds me, she told me when I was growing up, my parents had gotten divorced and her self-esteem went down the tubes, and she said, I remember every day I'd wake up and I'd look in the mirror and I would say, you know, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're hardworking, you know, you can do this. Because then she was raised or left to raise 3 kids by herself, and hadn't been working anyway. So, and she did it, and every day she would have to remind herself and look in the mirror and do that. So I mean, it's a very strong testament to where then what she did with her life after. So
And I think on that same point, Debbie, I think when you set lofty goals for yourself and, you know, sometimes you don't reach them, it's also important to give yourself a pat on the back for, okay, maybe I didn't get to that many beauty socials. But last year I had none. And
Right,
this year I had 10. So
right.
that's still a victory.
Yes. And evaluate, what did you do to get the 10 you had?
And
Think
double
of all
that
the extra
effort.
conversations you had. Think of how you became better at communicating. If you don't hit a goal, you have to look at what you did in the process of trying to hit that, and reward yourself and recognize the growth you had in different areas to when you were trying to achieve that. You know, I mean, if right now, let's say you hate going live, and all of a sudden you start going live and you don't hit whatever your goal is, but the fact that you started going live when you were scared to go live before. So
Yeah.
our job lends us so much opportunity for personal growth in so many areas of our lives that can carry over into many other parts of our lives, that whether you achieve your goals or not, just by doing the different things, you're growing in so many ways.
You're
And
trying instead of giving up and
Yeah.
sitting back down and going, oh, well, it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, okay, I didn't make it, but now I can analyze and see where I went wrong and double up my efforts. This worked, so I'm going to do twice as much of that next month and I'm going to get my goals.
Yes, our job forces us to not be a passerby. We can't be passive in our job. We have to learn to be assertive. We have to learn to get out of our comfort zone in so many different areas with this job. And so it just fosters growth. Everything about it allows growth. So I think we need to recognize that all the time. I mean, from the time you ordered that first box with your kit to everything you've done, I mean, there's growth everywhere in your business. So I think people sometimes get stuck on what they haven't done and what they need to do, and they forget to sit back and just look at, if you're on this call, you got on it. Some people are scared to death to get on their first Zoom call. I mean, it's amazing. And that's one of my favorite things, being in this all these years and being a leader, is watching people's growth. Is just truly, it's truly a blessing that we have an opportunity like this, because a lot of jobs don't always lend themselves to what we have.
That's my
So,
favorite part of Color Street, is the personal growth.
yeah,
And being challenged by other people, and not just looking at someone and going, wow, I'll never get to where they are, but going, what steps did they take to get there? I can do the same thing in my own way. And my
100%.
growth might not be a skyrocket. It might just be like a little mountain goat, steady up the mountain until I'm standing at the top and going, wow.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you're right. This book study is at like the perfect time, isn't it? We're really excited. Who here signed up for the book study? I read the book so long ago. I was rereading the intro yesterday. I mean, I'm so
I
excited
just got
to
it
be
in the
reading
mail
it again.
today. So I already read the intro.
I didn't sign up. I didn't know I had to, but I'll do that. I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
get the book.
sign up on the Google form. And then I need to do another, it's supposed to give you a link to go into the Facebook group, but I think people are not seeing it because it's like a redirect after you fill out the Google form.
Okay.
So I need to email.
Well, yeah, we want people to sign up on the Google form and then commit to
Yeah.
all the dates, and you can only miss one. So
Okay, well-
I love this. I love the way that we're doing this.
Yep.
It
We
keeps you
want committed
accountable.
people for this.
Okay, so I'm gonna be gone next week, so that's my day. I'm gonna be in vacation mode.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be on a cruise, so there's no way for me to get Wi-Fi. I'm not paying for it. I'm cheap.
No, we didn't pay for it either when we went on a cruise. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fantastic. I think it's a perfect time of year, and I love her story, and well, I've read the book before, but it's, like I said, it's been quite a few years, so I'm excited to reread it. But she's another great example, and this whole book is gonna be talking to us about getting over yourself. We've got to get out there. I mean, we have a great business. We have a great model. I mean, it's just, so it's what you're going to do with it. So I'm going to challenge all of you guys. If you have not come up with your one word, that is also, so if you missed the beginning part, so I'm going to write my goals for the year, but my one word is focus. So like I need to focus in every area of my life. So then with that I already know, because I'm so unfocused now, that my goal setting is going to be I'm going to have to be extremely specific to my time management in order to write my goals. And same with like, I know now with like, now that my husband and I are empty nesters, I know I need to start sitting down with him at the beginning of the week and evaluating our week so I can be focused at night, because what happens is I do stuff during the day and then I start working at night and then I don't get to see him. So I have to re-switch my whole day so I can be focused and spend time with him. So we're going to look at our schedules. Like, I know all mine really comes down to time management and being focused to break down everything so I can set goals. So, you know, think of that one word and then think of what goals you want to hit with Color Street, and how, maybe that one word is going to come into play with some of these. You know, I'm trying to think of what some of yours, let me go back to like, what were we? I got it. Oh, focus. Yeah. Like if, well, I mean, that was mine. Simplify. Like if, like, okay, Darlene, yours is to simplify. So what are your goals with Color Street? If your goal with all of life is simplifying, your goals with Color Street, maybe, you know, maybe working on different things that simplify is going to affect.
Yes. Simplifying, you know, using my time more wisely.
Yeah.
Simplifying the processes that I have for doing certain things.
Yep.
Just
Not
that kind of stuff.
recreating things.
Right.
Mhm.
Simplifying by like creating like calendar blocking even,
Yep.
and making sure I am not, you know, I always schedule time for my business. But I want to simplify that and just, you know, schedule certain times for my business. I
Right.
know I've
That's
been
what I
trying to
have to
work on
do.
that for a long time.
Yeah.
Just so that I can simplify other things in my life.
Yep.
But you know, like I say, even like on vacation, I never really go on vacation from my business.
No.
I always am mindful about the fact that, you know, my business is always open. So I want to be able to enjoy my vacation, but like I enjoy just talking about Color Street. So
Mhm.
like I'm never really truly on vacation, but I mean, I know a lot of people say vacation from their work, but I don't feel like this is work
Right.
sometimes,
Me
you know?
neither. I know
fun.
sometimes I'm like, I really get paid to just kind of talk about things that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Well,
just,
that's the
you
same.
know, stop fighting
sorry.
myself, basically. Honey, I know the internet is a huge issue on cruises. I'm not like, I'm not specifically talking to you about that. I was on vacation in Hawaii for 10 days in the first part of December, and I felt like I was away from my business a lot. But I was
Yeah.
still, you know, like people were still going, why aren't you just enjoying your vacation? And I'm
Well,
like,
with me, I did this thing. Somebody taught me this. I don't know who it was on Connect the Dots or something. And I made it fun where I asked people if they would post for like, you know, every day
that
or
is so awesome.
Oh, that's cute while you're gone.
yeah. So people, and right now I'm telling them this is their they get to have one pack of polish for helping me out. They both have two, or all three girls have 2 sets of days. And then they are doing something fun where they ask for permission first. They're going to say, Tammy's on vacation. I'm going to sell packs of polish at the discounted rate in my group, my VIP group. And then, so ha ha ha, get your orders in before she returns or something funny like that.
Oh,
And
That's
then,
so cute. What a great idea.
yeah, so somebody just gave us the idea. So my business won't be closed. It'll just be other people responding for me, which will then in turn say, hey, how did you like doing that? Because they're learning how to post their own posts.
I was just
too.
gonna say, look at your
And
next stylist in that, Tammy. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
now
Training future
they're also seeing
stylists.
that that's duplicatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
T-
And
Tammy,
you're
there's a
also
bunch of
showing
graphics.
that you don't have to work all the time, that you can go enjoy vacation and your business will still go on.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Love it.
If you need them, there's graphics in the original graphics group. I did something similar a couple years ago, and there were
Oh, okay.
quite a few graphics in there.
To
Alright,
get
I
people
love
to
just
help you.
Scheduling all my posts for the entire week, and then just saying, hey, if you place an order this week, there'll be a little extra surprise when I get back from my vacation. Like if I went someplace, like when I went to the Keys, I would have said, hey, I'll send you some of this fun key lime candy that I got in, with your prize, with your thank you.
I
Oh,
love
nice.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I kind of went off track there. You asked me about simplifying my life and then I just complicated everything.
No. Yeah, but simplify means different things to different people also.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so funny. All right. So I challenge you guys to come up with your one word and see how your one word can play into the different parts of your life. And then I challenge you to write at least 3 goals for your business. And I'm going to do a goals post. We're also going to do a beauty social post that I work on in the morning too. We talked about on the last call, to get your teams and everybody into the beauty social thing. Because if you didn't see that email, there's some really good prizes in that sweepstakes. So remember, we're definitely in the beauty social thing for this month, but I'll do a post on goals. And if you're willing to share your goals, remember when you say them out loud, then it's, they're out there more. Write your goals down and write your one word down. Share them with your family. Like if your goal is to hit, Cabo or Cabo for 2, share it with people. Let them know, because then people check in with you, and then, we often feel even more responsibility to hitting our goals, right? So it's not a bad thing if you really want goals to let other people know. Put them on signs around your house so your family can see it. And then your kids, if you have kids, might start asking, hey, do you have 2 beauty socials this month like you're supposed to? Why aren't you on the phone? Why? So write it down and write your action steps down. So if you've never written action steps, I want you to write those 3 goals and what you need to do to hit those goals. Like how much time do you, how are you getting them? Do you have to make phone calls? How many people do you have to call about? Are you willing to commit 30 minutes every Monday to working on calls for whatever it is? So, so write down the action steps. And if you aren't sure what the action steps should be, again, reach out to one of us as your uplines, or reach out to a side person on the team, but reach out and let someone help you come up with those action steps. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I feel like I've kept you U of M fans quite a while. I'm impressed with your restraint. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and
Thanks,
Happy New
Debbie, for
Year.
having
Thanks,
us.
Debbie.
And I'll see
Bye,
Good to see everybody.
next
Thanks,
Monday.
Debbie.
I'll be in Florida visiting Jackie, and we're going to get on the call together. So,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
exciting.
yeah. All right. See you guys
Bye.
next week.
Okay,
All right.
bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.